a month ago, and he hasn't stopped since. And I've seen the progression of Josh Payne from, you know, when he first started playing in the PDC system, and he's a good young lad. He's got a lot of respect for the game, a lot of respect for his fellow players and the staff and everything. You couldn't beat a nicer guy. And to get up there, and when he kicked off that last leg with the 180, I thought that shows bottle as well for a young man. But, you know, Jamie Caven just got over the line, and he goes through.
Well, two very nice guys on the stage as well here. John Henderson, what a weekend he had last time out, by the way, in Gibraltar. Survived 13 match darts in his first round win over Wayne Jones. He was 5-3 down in that, came back to win 6-5, and then having beaten Jones 6-5, he was then on the receiving end of a 6-5 defeat by Robert Thornton, having led 4-0 and 5-3. It was a really, well, an up and down weekend as far as Henderson's concerned, but he's back with us once again and looking to do some damage here. 140 with a ton 40.
Well, we've always said if John Henderson gets that rock in the right sync, then he is very dangerous. But as you mentioned a little bit earlier on, M.Webster's had a great 96. Year. He was really in turmoil with the dartitis. It was nearly probably on the verge of him packing up the game. But he sought advice, and he's taken that advice, and he's moved on. And it's good to see another nice guy with two nice guys on the stage here. Not that every dart player are not nice people.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But some are nicer than others.
Well, Webster, he reached the quarter-finals of the UK Open this year. Lost to Phil Taylor in the last 8. Made the last 4 of the World Grand Prix in October as well. Throw into the mix a quarter-final appearance at the Grand Slam. And a run to the last 16 at Ali Pali as well.
83.
And all in all, that's almost £70,000 in prize money over the last 6 months alone. So there you go. He's reaping the rewards.
Not a bad job, is it?
Works new here, though, for Webster.
59. Junior required 38.
Down to a finish, but Henderson favourite here to take this. Goes straight for the double 19. No thought about splitting it, but that's the danger.
22. Mark required 100.
Henderson hoping that Webster does not take this out.
Well, this first dart goes in the treble. I was going for the treble 19s.
Well, he's missed that anyway.
Yeah.
So he's down to 108. Sorry.
That's not a bad loop to go. 2 treble 19s, gives you double 16. So if you get one treble, you've got the line and length for the other one. John's starting to chase doubles around the board. Double 2. And last dart, last chance for big John Henderson.
You mentioned the reversal of fortune that Webster's had, the way he's turned things around. He also became a father at the birth of his daughter Ella last year. And I remember speaking to him about that, and he said it's given him a renewed lease of life. It certainly helps him put things in perspective, and it's made a difference. But Henderson off to a flyer in his second leg here.
I think you're right.
The nappy factor, they call it.
Yes, they do. I mean, there's certain things happen in life, and sometimes 2 or 3 things happen at the same time, and it did for Mark. You know, he got help. He started to get over the dartitis, which gives you a little bit more confidence, and then you have a little baby, and you're coming home to that, and you think, what am I worrying about? So it kind of eases you a little bit. You're not so much frustrated all the time, and all the thumbs are up for Mark Webster.
Could be up here as well.
140.
Yeah, the nappy factor initially discussed in golf after a number of top players, including Phil Mickelson and Zach Johnson. You know, they had major success after they became fathers, and Gary Anderson too, to some extent as well. His son Ty was born a couple of years ago, and of course that was followed by success in both the Premier League and the World Championship as well.
102.
Well, there we see it. The rocking motion of John Henderson. The only other person I can remember is Peter Manley.
60.
That has anything like that. I mean, you tell everybody you've got to keep dead still, keep the head still. And but Big John makes a good job of it.
Tops Webster.
He shows in the second leg, Mark Webster.
One apiece.
John to throw first.
2 holes of game on. Winner of this to face Robert Thornton in the second round tomorrow.
60.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Thornton, just talking about him, he's not had the greatest of years. He had that chest infection, then he'd done his ankle in coming off the hockey and then kept doing it. And you see Mark Webster. Spears.
140.
Another 140, yeah. So anyone who wins out of these two at the moment will fancy their chances against Thornton.
100.
These two in the top half of the draw. That's the opposite half of the draw to Michael van Gerwen, as far as the draw bracket is concerned.
Well, that's where you want to be at the moment, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I know, but looking at Van Gerwen's half, there's Gary Anderson's in there, James Wade is in there, Adrian Lewis is in there, Jelle Klaassen's in there as well.
Well, good luck to the rest of them in that half.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the half from hell, that is.
I think you want to be in the other half of the draw.
58.
No disrespect to the players in that other half. I think John Henderson's
59.
feeling the heat. It's a very warm evening. It's warm outside, and we've got a near full house inside tonight as well. Certainly very warm up in the commentary area, and I suspect it's even more so down on the stage.
170.
Wow. With Mark Webster, 170 to set up tops for a 2-1 lead and a very realistic break of throw.
140.
Lovely darts from Mark Webster. 3 bites at tops here, 2 remaining. Double 10.
30.
He was just a couple of centimetres inside, and that's just
82.
let Henderson back in here.
Yeah,
Treble 20. Oh, he's gone for the 25 to...
yeah, the 17 for double top now.
Very good use for the 25.
Clean kill. Veronica.
Really
John's other half, yeah, I mean, we talk about in the early part of games when you let chances go. Joey Cullen, 2 darts to go 4-1 up, end up losing. I mean, Mark, they're 3 clear darts at a double to break the throw and to go 2-1 up. They're major, major chances. It's easy for us to sit there and say they've got to take them, but you know, in the cutthroat world of professional darts nowadays, you've got to take them, otherwise you lose. It's not to say that Mark will lose, but you know, he could have had the upper hand.
58.
Celebrated his birthday earlier this month, did John Henderson. Just before the tournament in Gibraltar, he beat James Hubbard and Robbie Green in qualifying for this.
137.
Webster only dropped 1 leg in qualifying, by the way. He beat Matthew Dennant 6-zip and Curtis Hammond 6-1. Absolute breeze through qualifying for Mark Webster.
97.
Well, that gets him down to a neat and tidy 72, so potential 14 dart leg here for Webster.
Yes, the 3rd leg on the trot that he's after 12 darts.
60.
He's looking at a shot, which is
72.
power scoring.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of time for this 72 as well. 48 left in 24. That leaves him double top.
32.
He will be back because Henderson still has work to do here on 255. He's down to 250 now.
82. Argue require 40.
Still not down to a finish though. Webster looking at tops here.
Asia to the 4th flag.
Webster holds the 2-2.
5th leg, John to throw first.
Cracking atmosphere inside the Insel Parkhalle. Good atmosphere outside as well in the interval between the 2 sessions today. It's a glorious day in Hamburg. People were taking the chance just to soak up the sun and loll around and have a drink or two. beautiful city of Hamburg on the European Tour.
140.
Matt these days. First visit for the European Tour here. We are in Germany's second largest city.
100.
Interesting as well, we've got a few Danish spectators, not too far from the Danish border here as well. Plenty of Danish fans have made the journey south.
Well, Denmark used to be a big community of dart players in the early days when we were playing. We always used to go and visit the Danish Open. It was always well supported, 2,000-3,000 people. The whole of Scandinavia was great. Norway, Finland, Sweden. As Henderson puts in a maximum, puts the crowd on their feet.
Henderson
98.
looking to back that up now and get himself in position here. Don't halve it, John. Well, he might well do that, you know.
40.
Okay, he's down to a finish of 140, but Webster can just apply a bit more pressure here. Maybe the outside chance of a break if Webster can post a big one here. Oh, well.
134.
And he's certainly done that. Well, again, he's down to 72, which he took out before.
Yes, I mean, he really is scoring well, because that's the fourth leg on the trot. He's got a shot after 12 darts. That consistency
72.
will, in the end, wear your opponent down. However, well, double 12 now.
Brilliant.
This is to break the throw again.
Oh.
A great 14 dart leg from Webster.
M.Webster.
It just shows you in the place he's in, because a year, 18 months ago, missing those 3 darts at double top at a crucial time would have upset his game for the next 3 or 4 legs, but he hasn't. He keeps focused, and I know that he's seeing a bloke called Stephen Feeney who helped Stuart Binger win his World Championships, just on the mindset, the concentration, and it's proven here. Other players get told about it, and well, they're not interested, but Webster was, and it's paid off.
Mentioned Webster's success in recent big tournaments and the Premier tournaments. He's also putting in the hours, and he's doing the nuts and bolts elsewhere as well. We'll just see if he can take out 180 here, and he can. And he's just moved into another gear here. Yeah, he had a recent run to the last 8 of a Players' Championship event in Barnsley,
100.
which was ended by a 6-0 defeat by that man, Michael van Gerwen. But it's competitive match time, it's good experience, it all adds to the momentum.
134.
And the habit of playing competitive darts on a big stage against top quality players. Webster down to 129.
100. Arguing 129.
Well, he didn't have to go for the 19th, which would have been the normal route if your opponent's on a checkout. And again, after 12 darts, he's going to leave a tidy score. 77 score.
52 remaining. Yeah.
89.
This time it's a double after 12. This is really tidy power scoring from Webster.
Stand up if you love the darts, and stand up if you love Mark Webster's darts. There's lots to admire about
Arguing
Webster.
140.
And he's like tops before, and he takes it out again. Almost inevitable that he'd find the double 20 bed there. It's a hold of throw for Webster. And look at that.
123.
An average of just over 100. The first 9 average is fairly healthy too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason there why his first 9 average is not up to about 120. It's because darts 10 to 12 are where he's hitting a real big score every time to set his shot up.
Yeah.
So that's taken away. If you had that 10 to 12 dart average, you'd probably find that up to about over 120. But it's a tiny average, especially the overall average.
And Henderson's is languishing at the moment. Now we see the
58.
darts per leg stats there in good health too. Henderson struggling here now.
26.
Doesn't like that. Webster might steal the darts in a moment. Then again, he might not.
Well, a good healthy
60.
average on the doubles, 50%. Take that every day of the week. John Henderson, just a little bit below par. However, the treble 20 is not below par.
Well, he needed that. He needed something just to get him going here, and that might be it. Okay, it's on his throw, and it's only a holder throw if he does get over the line here. He too now is down to the finish of 72, which Webster's taken out twice already
Johnny
today.
requires 72.
Double 12. And he's
60.
missed it, but he will be back with Webster on 2-3-3. This might hurt Henderson though, if he can find another one of those.
140. Johnny requires 12.
Well, Henderson can't afford to pass this chance up. Oh, double 3, sometimes not easy to take out, but Henderson not a problem there.
Henderson. A mark to throw first.
And he's still
Game
fighting
on.
as the Highlander. Jihan, Artut and Christobi waiting in the wings, by the way. Sorry, Rob.
It doesn't matter where you go, they always
60.
sing a Phil Taylor song now and again.
Yeah, Taylor not with us this weekend. He did qualify, but he has withdrawn from the tournament.
60.
Jeopardising potentially his European Championship place at the end of the year.
Yes, and there was no invites, no wild cards into that event, so if you don't qualify, you won't be in. And certainly Mark Webster's put himself in a good position to qualify for it.
Yeah,
Well, we changed the rankings on that deliberately because of the top players pulling out of these tournaments.
the European Tour Order of Merits can be viewed on the PDC website.
Yes, if you don't play in the European events, you will not be in the European Championships.
81.
Now Henderson, if he can get a couple of trebles here, might just get himself in the frame. One more would be very welcome indeed.
100.
Maybe not enough. Let's see. Depends what Webster does here.
Oh, that's a slip. You can see what he thinks of it himself there.
122.
But he's smartened it up with his third dart.
He certainly has. 18 for tops. You feel for Webster with the unerring accuracy he's had on double 20.
41. While you require 58.
That's the route he's going. Absolutely plumb in the middle. 2 bites at tops. 1 remaining.
18.
Well,
Junior require 160.
this would be a shot in the arm if he could take this one out, John Henderson. And he won't, so Webster will return. And he'll have
140.
3 darts for
Argue
a
require 40.
5-3 lead. Just recalibrating here. Oh, he's overcompensated. Double 10.
30.
And the Angadi goes on. Henderson has a lifeline here.
Junior required 20.
This to break back and level things up at 4 apiece.
Steve Jones
And that is absolutely straight down the middle as well.
Incredible, the way Mark Webster's been playing.
John to
again,
throw
after
first.
12 darts,
Game
he's
on.
looking at the double and just failed to nail it. And he's let John Henderson back in. And like we see with Joey Cullen and Ron Mullenkamp,
140.
all of a sudden they're back in the game, and now you're under pressure because you're getting a bit edgy.
Henderson kicks off with a 140 in the 9th leg as well, but Webster looking at a maximum here to get himself going.
140.
Trading 140s in this 9th leg. Good match this.
Well, you can see Webster was on 50% one time, and those missed darts in the last leg has cost his percentage, but more when it cost him the leg. would have been 2 legs clear, 5-3 up. It was worth 2 legs to John Henderson.
Well, these two know each other very well. They've met 9 times before. Henderson leads the head-to-head standing 6-3. Their most recent meeting was in the World Championship 3 years ago. And it was a match won by Webster, 4-3. That was in the last 32 at Ali Pali.
98.
But this is a very, very different encounter. And what's gone before has no bearing on this.
60.
And effectively, we're now down to a best-of-3 encounter. Webster with a big finish here for a 5-4 lead and to break back. That's a lovely first start. Treble 19 he wants now. Just outside. So we'll go back upstairs. And he finds another treble 20. And that's beautifully set up as well. And Henderson, having worked so hard to claw his way back into this at 4 apiece, having been 4-2 down, could well suffer another break of throw here.
Yes, Mark can't afford to miss this.
That absolutely nudged the wire. And that's gone the other way, and it's a bit of a blocker, so he'll just have to go up. And he's not found the target with any of those.
So, 56.
Henderson, 56. Tops he wants. Needs this.
16.
Doesn't get it.
Well, it was to hold his throw, but it was a massive chance for John Henderson. Webster's already had 3 darts at the double 14. And he needs one more.
M.Webster.
Got out of jail a little bit there, did Mark Webster, and now he's got control. And he has to throw to close this game out.
10th leg, Mark to throw first.
Perfect time to break. 5-4 he leads. Throwing first in the 10th leg. Came from behind in his first round win over Wayne Jones last weekend in Jib. Did Henderson.
83.
Needs to come from behind here as well. And with darts like this, he may well do so.
135.
You can see there that the problem that they're moving forward just before he releases the dart.
93.
And when he was in the doldrums, that was really, being progressed to literally falling over the hockey at times. Yeah. And he seems to have got his balance, he's working with it.
45.
But it's not affecting his confidence, so that's why he's now throwing some good darts.
45 from Henderson has just opened things up a little bit here for Webster, even more so on his throat. Needs to punish Henderson here.
100.
Well, he's down to a finish of 167. Henderson with work to do on 2-2-1. Doesn't like that. Has to step over to the right-hand side to find the space, and he's found a treble 20, and he's found another.
140. Marking 167.
And we could well be in for, dare I say it, another 11-leg match.
Well,
that leaves 70.
81.
So Henderson, little margin for error here, and he's hit the 3. 60 required now. He missed the treble 18.
41.
Cost himself at least a dart in the bullseye there, which could have been crucial, because if Mark Webster takes this out, he wins the match.
Well, that first dart was just a waste. It was got to find the big number. 60 remaining, 20 for tops for Webster. Finds the 20.
Just
50.
The second dart nearly went in the treble, and that nearly deflected in the treble as well.
40.
Well, he was a long way off. Henderson here, double 10. Close, no cigar yet. There is now.
Game shot in the 10th leg, John Henderson.
And on we go. We do have another 11-leg match. We've had a few of these today.
11 from final leg, John to throw
and it's the
first.
third in the evening session alone. All three matches so far tonight going the distance. Who's your money on here, Rob?
60.
Well, it is a flick of the coin. I probably edged toward M.Webster, but and you can see under pressure that just moving forward a lot now on that throws, Mark.
140.
However, he's still getting a good extension on the release of the dart, so that's the main thing. And here we have John Henderson
rocking away. 99.
Between the two of them, it's a handful for a sports psychologist and a coach.
Well, Webster's just about stolen the darts here.
140.
Well, he has now. Oh, Henderson, it's unravelling here.
76.
Finds the treble 20 with the third dart, but some damage has been done there.
It's funny that John Henderson goes forward. M.Webster actually goes to the right. When he releases, his body moves to the right, not over the hockey, but to the right of it.
93. Mark, you require 128.
So both on a finish. Webster going first. Remaining. He'll just set this up as best he can. Oh, he's done that brilliantly. Tops required for the match. Henderson, this has got to go. It might go, you know. Treble 19. It's off target, and he knows that could well be that.
139.
Well, there's been a couple of legs in this match where Webster 3 at double top missed, 3 at double 14 and missed. Is he going to clean this up? Oh, and that's a perfect guide.
Webster then, 2 more darts at tops. He's come below the double 20, Bedford double 10. And that is a massive let-off for John Henderson. Webster is almost on his knees there.
Required 28.
And John Henderson, having trailed 5-3, trailed 5-4, I should say, just as he did last week, might well come from behind for a first-round win again. So it does.
And the match, John Henderson.
And John Henderson, to some extent, gets out of jail there. M.Webster looks to have a great degree of control over that match. But it's the Highlander who goes through. Tenacious qualities coming to the fore there from John Henderson. And it's the Scot who goes through to face his fellow countryman.